Good afternoon. This is Kevin filling in for Peg today with a special edition of Someone You Should Know. This is a sports edition of Someone You Should Know. And in me with the studio this afternoon is BJ Hall, otherwise known as Coach Hall. Good afternoon, Coach.
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. It's our pleasure. Well, Coach Hall, you are the founder of Team Florida, which is a 7-on-7 football program in conjunction with the Police Athletic League, and it's a travel league, and you started this, correct?
Right.
But you know what? Before we talk about that, let's go back, let's wind the clock back a little bit, because you're a football player yourself, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about it. You played in college, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I started out at Troy University and finished up at Weber International. Played some professional ball as well. I played in the Arena Football League for 4 years outside of college, and then played 2 years in the Canadian Football League.
That has to be different.
Yeah, it was totally different. Actually, not as much as playing, college ball because from arena to the CFL you have motion. The receivers can go in motion, the running backs can go in motion. And it was similar, but the field was just huge, and you play with 12 players. So.
And you were a
quarterback.
So you threw the ball. You're very aware as a quarterback that field is about 20 yards longer, right?
Absolutely.
And if I'm not mistaken, one of the Arena League teams you played for was somewhat local, was it not?
Yes, the Tampa Bay Storm.
There you go, the Tampa Bay Storm. So you were a quarterback. You played in college. You played in professional league. So you had a lot of success playing football.
Yes, sir. I would say so.
Well, now let's turn the clock back forward to today. What happened, because you still look like a pretty young guy and you look like you're still pretty able-bodied. Maybe you'd still like to be playing football and could be, but you're coaching. So what happened there?
I'll say, God just gave me a calling after my last injury to give back to the youth, give back to my neighborhood in which I came up in. There was a lot of, kids that I saw that needed help and needed advice on how to get to the next level. And I want to start a program to where, we could give them, all of those aspects.
Nice, very nice. And you're also a coach in the local area, a high school coach. So tell us who you're with.
I coach at Largo High School. I'm offensive coordinator there.
Offensive coordinator. Of course, you're a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't want to be coaching the defensive backs.
I probably could be pretty good at it, though, because we study those guys quite a bit. So.
Well, you could give away some trade secrets. So let's talk about Team Florida. Tell us about how you came to be the founder of Team Florida and what that's all about.
It was something I thought about, 2 years prior that I wanted to put together, and I put it on paper, and I said, when I'm ready to start it, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go flat out and do it. And when we started it, I had a 7-on-7 team that I started with, from the middle school ages. And so I played with it, I toyed with that. And I said, I can expand this and make it so much larger. And so the year after, I added, high school athletes to it. And the kids that came out, we had about 60 kids that came out to the first tryout. And I was like, okay, but I want it to be bigger than football. And so I got in touch with this lady named Holly Haggerty. She's a part of the Community Learning Center, in which she has tutors. And so I told her, I said, I want my kids to be able to be tutored and to be ready to go to college. And I was introduced to her by a lady named Brenda McCarthy. She had an organization that was called We Believe in Me. And so she does academic advisory. And so she introduced me. It was a perfect setup. And now we've pretty much got the program to where we have academic advisory, we have tutoring, and we also do college tours. Along with the college tours, we also do camps, and we also do 7-on-7 tournaments to where the kids are playing versus some of the top kids in the country for exposure.
Right, and I was about to say, I've heard of the 7-on-7, and it's not really tackle football per se, correct?
Right.
But there are a lot of kids that play that are definitely college bound to play football.
Oh, absolutely. You go against some of the top kids in the country. I mean, you talk about the number 1, number 2 recruits in the country that be at these events, and it's just getting larger every year.
the same skill set for a quarterback or for a wide receiver or for a defensive back would be the same in 7-on-7 football as it would be in tackle football.
Absolutely. And I think it's a huge step for an athlete to play 7-on-7 because you get the mental aspect of it. For a quarterback, it's tremendous because you get to study defenses, see what they give you, and then go out and try to pick it apart in a certain amount of time. And I think it's just going to evolve.
Absolutely. But it sounds like from what you just told us, this isn't just about playing football, it's about a lot of other things too.
Absolutely. We have a story with this one kid. He started the program last year, and I won't say his name, but he started out on second grade reading level. And he called me crying yesterday because now he's on a high school reading level and he's going to be eligible to play. Last year this time he was in the streets, wasn't in school at all, and now we have him with the Community Learning Center in which he's taking classes, and he'll be eligible to play football this spring.
Wow, that's great. I know that the colleges certainly look at football players, any athletes, but they look at their grade point averages, they look at other extracurricular activities, and try to see where these kids are as far as being people in the community or good citizens.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems that that's becoming more of a trend, not less of a trend.
Yeah, I agree.
We sometimes hear a lot of bad things about either college football players or those that play football, but the truth is these football players really have to make the grade before they're eligible.
Yep, absolutely, man. And, we're big into that as well. We also want to be mentors to the kids to show them the right way, because a lot of them are at risk and some of them don't have father figures. So when they come to the program, we become that for them as well.
Wow. How many kids do you have in the program currently?
Currently now we have about 10 kids returning. There'll probably be 100 kids that'll come out, or not more, to the trial that we have January 16th.
And how many will make it out of that 100?
We keep everybody.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, so once we practice, we don't cut anybody. So we want everybody to develop once they join our program. We want everybody to feel that, once they come to Team Florida, I may start off not as good, but if I keep working hard and I keep developing, I keep learning from these guys that play professionally, that are good coaches, potentially once July comes, I'll be a lot better than I was when I first started.
Sure. And this is a travel league, correct?
Yes.
So even though there aren't, helmets and shoulder pads and things like that to buy, which are very expensive, I get the feeling there's probably quite a bit in the expense area that needs to be filled.
Oh man, absolutely, man. We go to trips, in different states, state to state as well. Each tournament is about $500. You go out of state, some tournaments are $1,000, and then that's not including, the travel costs with driving, gas, housing, feeding the kids as well, and then also paying for insurance as well. So it's pretty steep.
So if we had any listeners out there who were interested in helping to promote this kind of thing, maybe they could be a sponsor if they'd like to contribute some money?
Absolutely. We actually partner with PAL, so we're under the PAL's umbrella as a nonprofit. So,
and that's the Police Athletic League.
Right, absolutely. So we would love, anybody that's out there want to sponsor, donate to the organization to help these kids fulfill their dreams. It would be a blessing for sure.
And businesses can do that as well?
Businesses as well.
Well, if you're a business owner or an individual who would like to contribute, Coach, tell us how they can do that. How can they get in touch with you, or is there a website they can go to?
Yeah, they can either go to our website, www.teamfloridafootball.com, or they can reach me by my email at bjhallfootballtraining@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook under BJ Hall as well.
And just to make sure, in case our listeners are writing that down, say all of those one more time.
That's bjhallfootballtraining@gmail.com. That's my email. Our website is www.teamfloridafootball.com. And you can also reach me on Facebook as well, on the BJ Hall. We have a Twitter page on the Team Florida 7-on-7. So any one of those, you can reach me at any time.
I can't think of a better Christmas present for folks, any of our Sun Radio listeners that would be interested in helping to promote this. Can't think of a better Christmas present for either Coach Hall or these kids that are in the program than to give him a holler, go on his website, and during these Christmas holidays contribute something so that these young men can not only play football, and some of them have the dream of going on to college, maybe further, but they can also learn how to be good young men, good citizens in the community, and learn what it means to have commitment and to actually play by the rules and to fit into society and to get a good education in the process.
Absolutely. We had over 45 scholarship offers through the program the first year. We had a kid that came into the program the first year and didn't have any scholarship offers at all. He went on our college bus tour, and now he has a full ride scholarship to the University of Liberty that he'll be going in the fall. So, his mom doesn't have to worry about paying a dime for school now. And we plan on increasing that number this year come January.
Nice. So how about it, Sun Radio listeners? I know a lot of you, and I know a lot of you are sports fans. So if you've got a place in your heart that you'd like to contribute something, please, by all means, get in touch with Coach Hall and help these young men not just to fulfill a dream, but to promote the idea of good citizenship and teaching them how to be responsible and to do the right thing. It's a great program. And Coach Hall, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Any parting words or any plea from the listeners?
Not really, just, it would definitely be a blessing if you guys could help the organization out. It would mean a lot to our program.
Well, thank you so much. And again, this is Kevin today filling in for Peg. And tune in next time for Someone You Should Know.
Perfect. We are
Awesome.
out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We are out. I'll make, wait a minute.